We ended up in our own place probably about 6 months after we got married. So we moved from his grandparents' house to our own house. And that's when the cheating and everything started, and the drinking and everything else. And then we found out that I was pregnant. So obviously I stopped drinking, but he continued to drink. And then we separated. He filed for divorce and he got married again.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's what really started my spiral, because I was 17, 2 kids, alone again. And at the time didn't understand why. I was desperate to be loved again, because I thought that if I'm with somebody, and I remember this feeling, as long as I was in a relationship, I felt like I was being loved in some type of way. So I immediately got into another relationship. I moved into an apartment of my own and met somebody, and we ended up together. And that's when I was introduced to a lot of different drugs. Um, Cocaine was the main one that, because he started to sell it while we were in a relationship. And of course, alcohol was an everyday thing for me to numb myself and not have to feel that pain of being rejected. So,
So now you're able to identify that. That's exactly why you went through that, is because you had to numb yourself.
mm-hmm.
And so it was after that divorce is where you felt okay. And what I find so interesting a lot of times is we do get in ourselves in these patterns, right? And we're not really aware of why these patterns exist. Like, and you just mentioned where, okay, I had to feel like I was in a relationship. So literally right after he got married, and so you went found someone else, and then that's obviously kind of catapulted you in the wrong direction. Um, when you were just between those moments there, single mother, um, going out there trying to do this all by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any support or any family or anybody besides you to, at least get assistance of some sort, or no?
I did. This is when my mom and I reconciled, and we ended up coming back into a mother-daughter relationship. And she was separated from my stepfather. So she was actually able to leave the house and spend time with me. So she's the one that actually helped me get the apartment, and helped me get a vehicle, and helped me get back on my feet. Um, but I think it got really discouraging soon after that, because I didn't know how to take care of things, because and this is something else, learning, looking back, learning this, I didn't know how to steward things that I was given, because when I was a kid, it was always just given to me. So I didn't have to worry about stewarding it, because it was always replaced. So when she helped me get the apartment, I lost the apartment probably within a year. She helped me get a car. I ended up losing my license. It was just like I didn't take care of anything I was given, because I didn't appreciate it.
With your atmosphere and environment that got you in drugs, and you mentioned cocaine and so forth, was it right away very heavy use because you were trying to numb that so much, or was it a very like, because sometimes I catch myself in these lies where, oh, it's just a little bit, right? Oh, it's just a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, right? And the reality is that little bit then obviously long enough will become very large, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that addiction is, whatever that situation is. So I'm just curious, how you thought about that. And
When it comes down to alcohol, I was all in every day. I didn't care if I blacked out. It was as long as I had that euphoric feeling going on, I was perfectly fine. Um, but when it came down to experimenting with, the cocaine, it was a very subtle. And I think I was lying to myself when because it was basically like, okay, he's selling it. He wants me to try it. He wants me to make sure that it's okay. It's good. So it's okay. It's not an addiction. It wasn't, you know. So in my head, and I'm telling myself like I'm not like the rest of them that are on the street or anything. Ridiculous. But I definitely believe that looking back now, that there were so many lies that I told myself through even the beginning of my addiction. So,
You know what I really appreciate your honesty and transparency is that you had an amazing experience at, 15, right? And
mhm,
16 and
mhm,
you started seeing Jesus move in your life, right? God moving in your life. And then all of a sudden all this stuff happens.
mhm.
And what was your relationship like with Jesus and God at that moment? Was it kind of a little bit more of a distance? Did you feel a bit of shame or guilt? What did that look like?
It was definitely distant. It was it went from being like a real relationship, a reality for me, to okay, if I don't think about him and I don't think about doing anything bad, I mean, I don't think about doing anything bad toward God, then I'm not sinning. You know what I mean? Like it's not a bad thing. So I definitely distance myself from the Lord. Like, if I don't believe that he's watching me, then he's not watching me. You know what I mean? I more lies than I was just telling myself. So
At what point then